That's okay.
I mean, do you want to do the timer? Wait.
Yeah, it's all right. If we're live, we're live.
Not, I mean,
it's not saying we're
I
live.
don't know. It says we're live, but down there.
It doesn't say we're
All
live.
right, there we go.
Beautiful. Look at. I think we're live. Welcome to Hanging with Hot Rod. This
up,
is
guys?
our week 9 show. I'm Hot Rod, and of course my
Manny.
co-host. This is Manny, as usual. We're going to start off the show and apologize for our abysmal picks last week. It happens once in a while, guys, but it's not going to happen again. We did a 1 for 5 last week, and that's just awful. We're still above water, though, for the whole year. We're going to change things. This is November, and we are going to clean slate, and we're just going to be picking winners now. Simple as that. In NFL news, well, those of you that are new, if you are new, we're a pick'em show. We're going to give you the spreads of who we think are going to win, the games that who we think are going to win against the spread, is what I meant to say. And hopefully you can beat your bookie and put some money in your pocket. This week we got a bunch of games. NFL is tough. This time of year, NFL is just tough because each week some team does something. They do great, then they do bad, then they do great, and then
Jets
do bad.
won.
Yep, and
The Jets.
Yep, and this is and this is where those lines, and I've talked about it before. You need to follow these lines because there's some crazy lines, and we'll go over it. But in the meantime, I want to thank our sponsors. Graftex for giving all our great merchandise. Central City Bar and Grill. Homer Hops, Gators, and we might have a surprise new sponsor coming up shortly, and we'll have that unveiling hopefully by next week.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and we'll get that all straightened out. So again, we both did really bad, so we're not going to talk about it anymore, and we're just moving on.
In
so,
NFL news.
And other news. And so this week was a kind of a crazy week, not going back on last week's games, but there is some big news going on in the NFL. Unfortunate news, sad news, tragic news. Henry Ruggs, stupid, got in a car accident, was drinking, killed a woman. Can't do it. Obviously, it's just horrible. He's probably going to be out. His career's probably over. It's just a real sad situation.
Is over.
Yep.
I don't know how many years he's going to be in jail.
Yeah, it's a sad thing, but that's just what happens when you make bad
Do
decisions.
they have like Ubers and Lyfts?
Yep, we were talking about it, man,
Cab
and you're
services.
right. It really makes no sense at all.
I'd pay somebody.
Yeah,
to drive my car
if you're that rich,
safely.
why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't you? Any case, so the other news, we'll get off that subject. A lot of injuries, unfortunately, to major players.
That's gonna.
Derrick Henry out for the year. Crusher. He was killing it. The Titans were looking pretty decent.
That was gonna be a hell of a game this week.
Yep.
Now
and
it's not really.
Now it's
It
not.
could still be a hell of a game. I have something to say about that. When we
Yeah,
talk
they
about it.
picked up
Other than
Adrian
that.
Peterson, but the teams do pick it up when they lose their star player. And so we'll see what happens in that game. 7.5's a lot. We're going to be talking about it. Another major injury, unfortunately, Jameis Winston, towards ACL. He's out for the year.
Everyone's out.
So that is it. And then just changing news a little bit, but staying on the football front, college football. The Texas coach. Don't know if you heard about this. I'm breaking this right now. This is all over this, and it's so fucking funny. Not that he left his wife and his kids for this woman, but he left his wife for a stripper whose name is the Pole Assassin.
Okay.
Now, if your name is the Pole Assassin, that is, I don't. So this is not made up. This is not a false report. The Texas head coach left his wife and kids for a dancer named the Pole Assassin. Let that sink in. That's quite a name. If you can be,
It's not sinking in. It's floating.
I don't know.
It's floating. It's
Okay,
not
well,
sinking.
it is what it is. All right, well, that's that, and then so we've got in the AFC, one of the things that's happening this year that there's really no front runner. You've got Buffalo, yes, but after Buffalo, it's like last week the Bengals beat up. Well, last week, they lost to the Jets. The week before that, they went into Baltimore and absolutely thumped them. Beat them down. And so you're like, oh, Cincinnati's on the rise.
Yep.
And then they had the Jets come in. And last week also, one of the things that happened, we didn't talk about it, but I will talk about it. So last week, a lot of backup quarterbacks came in. It was the week of the backups. Dallas, the Saints, obviously, the Jets, Trevor Siemian, and I'm going to remember who he plays for in a second. But he came in, and there was like 5 or 6 backup quarterbacks that came in and lit it up. Lit it up. Mike White for the Jets, 400 yards. Get the heck
3
out
touchdowns.
of it. Yep. The guy that the Dallas backup, I lost money on that one too. I got absolutely murdered this week. So even though my picks were bad, it hurts me too, guys. I just don't give them out. Smart man over here. He just gives his opinion.
I want to, but
he gives his opinion, and he's smart.
That's it.
In any case, so this week, it's a crazy week with the spreads. You just don't know. You've got to find the lines that are fishy, and then I'll explain that to you when we get to that game. But we're going to start off tonight, and we got a fishy line right here, so we'll be able to discuss it. Thursday night, we got the Jets versus the Colts. The Colts are minus 10.5. Yeah, now, the Colts just lost. They had a decent game, but Carson Wentz, when he throws stuff, he threw an interception that was like the worst interception. He left-handed in his own end zone, threw it up, and you just don't do that. The Jets just beat the Bengals. Yeah. So why is this line 10.5? That makes no sense. So the play here, everybody's going to take the Jets because you're getting 10.5 points. The play here is the Colts. I'm taking the Colts, even though it's 10.5. I think it's going to be 28-10, 24-10, something around those. It's going to be an ugly game. The Colts are going to win it by more than 10, though. Who do you like in this one, Manny?
I like the Colts.
All right. Jonathan Taylor's a stud.
I like the Colts. I don't know. The way these games have been flip-flopping, maybe the Jets are going to kick ass, man.
Well, listen.
I don't even know anymore.
That's why it's betting. You're right. Well,
it's like one of those. It's like one of those moments where the team that's supposed to be bad all year, for some reason, now starts turning it around. And I feel like because the Jets beat the Bengals and the Jets have been making a little bit of noise lately, it's like, can this be the turnaround area of the season?
Right.
So they might beat the Colts. They might not. I don't know.
It's a tough one. No, that's why betting is so hard in the NFL because I've been saying it in the beginning of the year. Like, the bad teams aren't that bad.
They're not.
And the good teams aren't always as good as you think. And so when they any given week, they're all professionals. They're all really good.
Like, I really thought the Chiefs were gonna stomp the Giants, and they almost lost to the Giants.
They have lost me so much money. It makes me sick.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Chiefs.
3 weeks ago, I put on my Twitter, I said I will not bet for or against the asshat Chiefs ever again, and I broke my own rule of only 2 weeks ago, and I took them, and they didn't cover against the Giants, and I lost again. It is what it is. I'm going to turn around. This is my week. I'm telling you, college and pro football, I am going to wreck it this week. I'm making that statement. I am going to wreck it. Well, you have to say something. You can't just defeat. Defeat is not an option, brother.
So I just think the Jets are going to be riding high with their new quarterback. Their defense is pretty decent.
They are
pretty decent. You know, same thing with the Colts. It's like, I don't know. Like, Carson Wentz needs to get his together. If he doesn't get it together, the Jets are going to definitely beat them.
Yeah, it's one of those things. The Colts are going to do is they're going to throw a whole bunch of different packages at this new rookie quarterback that he hasn't seen. Mm-hmm. I see him throwing a couple picks tonight. Hopefully. I don't really have a dog against him. I don't mind the Jets, and I don't really care about the Colts. But this guy, is he a stud? I don't think so because he was a backup. You're not a backup. You're a backup for a reason. He had a great game, which can happen because they're all pros, right? But the defense is going to definitely.
Can he do it twice?
That's a huge issue.
That is the question.
So, all right. So we're both on the Colts. We like that. I like that. So Sunday, we got the Brownies versus the Bengals. The Bengals are minus 2.5 and 46.5. Now the Browns.
These games are ugly.
Yeah, but I picked that game because it's a division rival. Bengals just got
Battle of Ohio.
Yep, good one. Just got beat by the Jets. The Browns lost to my Steelers. But this is a division game. Baker came back a little early to try to get a win against Pittsburgh.
He looked all right.
He didn't look bad, but I think
it was like 225 passing yards.
Yeah, no, he did all right, but I just don't think that shoulder. He came back quick,
Yeah.
And it's a broken shoulder. I don't
Yeah.
care what you say.
Don't know why they're doing that.
I mean, well, they wanted the win. They needed the win. There is some turmoil there. OBJ is going to be released. That is my inside information that I've got through my sources. They're going to release him. They're done. It's over. And he'll very shortly.
Are they going to release him before the game or after?
That is a good one. I don't know.
I would only say that the Bengals are going to win this because the Browns have too much drama.
They got so much drama going on.
That's it.
I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't happen tomorrow. I'm just saying because the trade deadline's already passed. They're not going to get anything from them. They're just done.
Where would OBJ go? He needs to go to a team where he would definitely be the primary.
I don't disagree.
That's my thing, though. It's like
Oakland.
They just lost Henry Ruggs, so yeah, why not?
Are we starting the rumor? OBJ to Oakland.
OBJ to Las Vegas, basically.
Yeah. Oh, did I say Oakland? Sorry.
I know exactly what you were talking about. OBJ to Las Vegas.
That could be.
I can see it.
Why not?
There's still lights.
Why not?
There's a lot of women.
Why not?
OBJ can feed into the nightlife.
I think that would be almost a perfect fit.
Still more drama. I don't know.
Maybe we should call his agent. Talk to him. You and I don't know.
Derek Carr's a good quarterback. He would most definitely throw the ball to OBJ.
So, that being said, anyway, who cares about OBJ? I don't. But in any case, I'm going to take the Bengals in this game. Yeah. I think Burrow is he's just a stud young quarterback. I really, really like Joe Burrow. And the Bengals, they had to slip up against the Jets. What that game is called, in my opinion, is they just were looking forward. They had the Jets came in. They said, this team is no good. They just overlooked them. The Bengals are young. But they're going to put it back together. I think they're going to look in the mirror and say, "What the hell? We just let the Jets beat us."
Of course.
And so I got the Bengals in this one. Who do you like, bud?
I also got the Bengals in this one, only because I kind of lost faith in the Browns. Like everything that they've been doing, it's just like, yeah, you got Nick Chubb back, but Nick Chubb was held back.
The Steelers
Pittsburgh has a great defense, so it's like Pittsburgh defense is not the same as Bengals defense, but the Bengals do have a decent defense.
Yes.
Don't know what was that against the Jets, but obviously every game is different. So I think even if the Browns have Myles Garrett, who is the leading defensive end, defensive
awesome.
end in sacks, the Bengals also have, I believe his name is Trey Hendrickson.
Yep, that sounds
who is
right.
the leader in QB pressures.
Yes.
So you basically got the second guy that's about to get the most sacks, but not really. So I just don't see the Browns really doing anything, man.
No, I think the Browns are in trouble.
I see them scoring, sure, maybe, but I think the Bengals are going to be more composed for this.
I see it being a good game, too. I agree with you. And that happens with, the opposite of Myles Garrett, opposite of T.J. Watt, opposite of any stud defender. The other guy, because he's not going to get double teamed, and he's not. And if he's any good, he's going to have a really good year.
I believe what is it? The Bengals are home.
The Bengals are home.
I think they have a little bit more of an advantage.
Heck yeah, they do. Yeah. All right, so we both got the Bengals. I like that. We're going to go to the 4 o'clock game. We've got drama again in this one. We got the Packers versus the Chiefs. Now the Chiefs aren't covering versus anybody. Patrick Mahomes looks the worst that I've ever seen him. Like he just doesn't know what he's doing out there, which is I mean, he is a gunslinger. He still has one of the best arms. They are just so disappointing. I've lost so much money on them. I just have to stay clear. I'm going to pick the game for you guys, but I am staying clear of it because I don't trust them. Packers, if you didn't know, Aaron Rodgers has tested positive. It's probably a false positive because he's one that's unvaccinated, and they make him take a test every day. So
is there a possibility that he can get a negative test and then come back?
No, you have to. They've got strict rules in the NFL, and we're not going to go deep into it. But what it is if you're unvaccinated, you have to go 10 days.
Okay.
Then you have to show 3 negative straight tests.
Okay. I didn't know this.
Yeah, and he can't be around anybody. Whatever. He is. No, you don't. But he is. He is not. He's asymptomatic.
Okay.
He's got no symptoms.
Okay.
This is the reporting that I've got so far. That's why he was out and about the day that it came out. He had just got done with the Pat McAfee show, which he does on Tuesdays. He just got done, and then Tuesday night they came out and said, "Oh, you tested positive." But since he's unvaxxed, and there's a whole story behind it, and he's not really unvaxxed. He did I'll get into it because I know he did at the beginning of the season. He didn't want to take the vaccine. So he went and had his doctors come up with a cocktail, sort of like what President Trump did, and he took a different version of the vaccine, one that his doctors recommended. Now, you can agree or disagree with how that goes, but he had the protection that everybody else did. The NFL would not recognize the treatment that he took for the vaccine, so they put him as unvaxxed. So the unvaxxed get They have very, very strict rules against whatever, and it is. I'm not going to get into it because it's half the country believes one thing, half the country believes the other. That's fine. So in any case, they're without Aaron Rodgers. So they got Jordan Love now, and it looks like Blake Bortles is being brought back in, which doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. The Packers' defense is very good. The Chiefs. So let's just break this down. The Chiefs aren't stopping anybody on defense. The Giants went up and down the field against them.
Yeah.
We still have Aaron Jones. Adams is now back.
Okay.
Yeah, he's off COVID protocol from 2 weeks ago.
Didn't Tunyon suffer an injury?
Yes, good call. Tunyon, he's out. He tore his ACL. So that's a big point. But my point is that I think the Green Bay Packers will be able to run the ball with Aaron Jones and get up and down the field on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The Chiefs' offense, every week we sit here and say they're going to explode. When are they going to explode? When are they going to explode? They just don't do it. So your Giants should have won the game.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm taking the Chiefs. I hate it. I don't like it.
Initially,
I don't like it.
Before this broadcast, I was thinking about the Packers, and obviously I did not know that Aaron Rodgers was off with COVID.
Well, that might make it. Might change your decision.
And then I thought about, let's pick the Chiefs. But in all reality, I'm sorry. Fuck the Chiefs. You know what? You guys have barely just won any of your games. I think the Packers, even without Aaron Rodgers,
could go down and
could
put the nail,
beat them. Yeah,
put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Packers.
I like that. That's a good bet. I like that.
I just can't. I just don't.
I'm so ready to switch.
You shouldn't be that much of a bad team. You guys just won a championship last year.
How are you that bad?
I don't know.
You're making me change my mind.
No, don't change. No, I should change your mind.
I like it.
But then I also don't want Jordan Love to just shit the bed, and then Blake Bortles shit these names. These names are not confident.
So
they don't breed confidence.
It doesn't. But last week we had all those.
Being beat by a guy named Love.
Jordan
Love.
He sounds like a
slinger.
He
300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Let's just say.
I like that. All right, we're gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna stick with the Chefs. You're gonna stay with the Packers.
I'm doing it.
It is what it is. I don't blame you.
If anything, Jones and Adams are gonna be the reason why they beat their ass. But it's okay.
I don't blame you there. All right, so we're gonna go to the 8:00 game. We got the Tennessee Titans, which is another sad story, against the Rams. The Rams are -7.5.
Ugly week.
Tennessee lost Derrick Henry for the year. That is brutal. They brought in Adrian Peterson, I want to say. I don't know if they signed him or not, but that was the rumor. So they're gonna.
I think I read an article saying that he's gonna get reps on Sunday.
Yeah,
Saturday.
It's Sunday. It's Sunday night. So I am as we speak. I am switching my pick. 7.5 is a lot. I think the team picks it up a little bit without Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
The other players step up a little bit for the one game. I do like the coach for Tennessee. Mm-hmm. I don't think Tannehill's a horrible quarterback. He hasn't played great this year, but this might be his time to step up. And they got some really good receivers. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about that. We'll see what happens. I'm just gonna go on the line. I'm gonna take Tennessee with the points. I don't think they'll win the game. Well, that's 7.5 points, bud.
I can understand.
So they can still lose.
I also am thinking to myself, maybe I should pick Tennessee, but I picked the Rams because of the obvious reasons of them not having Derrick Henry.
And which just stands right out.
But I will like to say that Tennessee has some interesting backup running backs. So even though Adrian Peterson is 36 years old, he had about just a little bit over 600 yards from the lines last year.
Yeah, he can do it,
and he looks good. I'm not saying that he is like a Derrick Henry, but if you look at Adrian Peterson's old film, he was eating bodies just like Derrick Henry would eat bodies. So I'm just saying, maybe 36-year-old man, 220 pounds, excited to get back on the field. We don't know what that's going to look like.
Yeah, and if we're comparing...
And also, Derrick Henry had a great offense. He's running behind a great offensive line. So I feel like if Adrian Peterson can find the hole, you're going to have a problem.
That's a great point.
Because you wouldn't sign a 36-year-old running back unless he still had juice in the tank.
Man, you make a great point.
Right.
And behind every great running back there's 100% great line.
Right. And okay. They also have another running back. His last name is Foreman.
Yeah.
He's like 236 pounds. He's like a power back. And all I'm thinking is you could probably utilize him for the line.
Yep.
Like it's like taking Derrick Henry and splitting him into multiple players. So it's like Adrian Peterson probably still has the speed, and then Foreman has the muscle. So make it work.
That's
so
funny.
I don't know. I like the idea of Tennessee possibly stepping it up and really trying to, win this game. I would like to pick Tennessee, but I just think the Rams are just going to come in and just like, they've been a solid team all year. The defense has been great. Matthew Stafford is loving his offensive line and his offensive players.
Oh, God, yeah.
So I'm going to give it to the Rams.
Nice.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee pulls out the win.
I think it's going to be it's an interesting game.
Yeah.
It could be a blowout too with the Rams, because the Rams' offense is explosive as a mother. All right, so we're on to Monday night, and Monday night we've got the Chicago Bears going into my Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are -6.5. Pittsburgh just got off beating the Browns. A very ugly game, 15-10, but that's fine. The Steelers kicker decided to try to do a fake field goal and got his head knocked off, so he's out and he won't be playing. That was brutal. So that's a little bit of a disadvantage without having a kicker there. But in Pittsburgh, the winds are real tough, and you don't get a lot of field goals. But the kicking game is an if for Pittsburgh. It's a Monday night game. Pittsburgh usually plays very, 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 very well.
Don't they have like a really good record?
Yes, they have like the best record of anybody in the NFL. They under the lights on Monday night at home in Pittsburgh. They're something like 22-2. They're just ridiculous against the spread. The Bears are one of those teams that is kind of an enigma. Justin Fields, that guy is an electric player. He can make plays out of nothing.
But he can't.
So he can make mistakes.
He can't do it all.
No, he can't do it all. And the Pittsburgh, in my opinion, like I said, they won an ugly game. But the nice news, and this is for my Steeler fans out there, Najee Harris, 100 yards rushing, almost 70, 80 yards receiving. They're using Najee. They're pounding the ball. The Steelers are running. They're going 3 yards, 5 yards, 3 yards, controlling the clock, just pounding the ball. The offensive line looks like it's starting to come together.
Yeah.
And so since that's happening, teams are going to have to bring everyone up to try to stop Najee.
And then that opens
play action
up.
Pass. Look for Chase Claypool and Deontay Johnson. Well, Juju's out for the year, but Deontay,
really? I didn't even know that. Okay.
He broke his shoulder in this week 3.
Jesus.
So it's all right. Deontay Johnson and Claypool.
You still have a lot of.
I'm saying look for him deep. So I am taking my Steelers because that's just an obvious.
I'm
anyway.
taking the Steelers. I'm
Nice.
not really surprised on the Bears haven't done anything for me to just be like, oh yeah, like they have a great defense, Khalil Mack, woohoo. That's that's fantasy talk. That's like, oh my god, that they can still be a good team. To be honest with you, you guys have been flip-flop all year.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh has had their flip-flop moment, and I think they've been turning it around as best as they can.
Sure.
So I would give them the upper hand, hands down, at Pittsburgh on a Monday night.
Well, I will put it this way, too, and then just to go a little deeper into the Steelers, because I know all Steelers all the time. They got this game, which is the Bears. They should win, which would put them 5-3, and then if they win, then they have Detroit. So if they beat Detroit, they'd be 6-3. Then they go into the schedule that gets a little, but 6-3 puts them right back in the mix.
Yeah. I don't see Detroit beating them.
No. The Steelers. But the thing is, the scary thing about that is Detroit's going to pop up somewhere and beat somebody. I don't know who. I don't know when.
Okay, you don't want it to be Pittsburgh.
I don't want it to be Pittsburgh, so I'm almost hoping Detroit gets their win.
That
I hope Detroit gets their win this week, so they don't have to. Okay. Any case, so those are our picks. The Mush pick of the week. He actually won last week. He took the Packers. Packers won. They lost Aaron Rodgers, though. So the Mush is now. Yes, you did. So the Mush has won 2 games. So he's on a 1-game winning streak. So this week he is taking Arizona.
Against who?
Being a sports show that we are, we should know. Arizona.
We're busy.
This
is on the fly.
We are busy. We got a whole lot of stuff.
This is on the fly.
But we can find out.
Creativity at its finest.
We can absolutely find out. So we got Arizona is going to be playing. Everybody out there knows.
Still don't understand how the Chargers lost to the Patriots, but it's okay. I really thought that was going to be a Chargers game, but it wasn't.
That was a wild game.
It's an ugly game. Ugly. Disgusting.
So we just got to find Arizona somewhere. Raiders, Panthers.
Arizona is facing the 49ers.
The 49ers. Wow, that's a tough game.
Cardinals lost. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so Arizona. And the thing is, though, Arizona, I have Kyler Murray as my quarterback. He is questionable. He was in a boot all week.
Okay.
So I'm kind of bummed about my fantasy.
I think the 49ers defense might make the game interesting.
Of course, and it's a division game again. They know each other. It's not like
coming off a loss. They're off their high horse.
Yep.
Kyler Murray's questionable.
Yep. All that good stuff.
Can the energy in the locker room be
all that stuff? So
effective?
the mush pick took Arizona, so that's sad for Arizona fans. Again, I want to thank everyone for watching. Appreciate it. Check me out on Twitter. I'm putting my parlays and my in-game picks, which what we do is you can. It's kind of fun betting if you don't know what those mean.
This is Fields' breakout game by Austin Reed. To be honest with you, man,
yeah,
I highly doubt it.
Jets suck. Yeah,
the Jets do suck, but I don't think this is going to be Fields' breakout game. I'd be damned if it's his breakout game against the Steelers on a Monday night. To be honest with you,
listen, I know this gentleman, and
Bears,
and it's very possible
that Justin Fields breaks out.
No, that he could be under the influence of something right now. He doesn't know what he's talking about, so we can't really take anything that he's saying for real.
Who did the Bears face last week?
The Bears got thumped. Again, we are a sports show.
No. We're not supposed to listen. I don't get paid
enough to know anything.
I don't get paid
NFL,
to know all these things.
Scores, and then I'm gonna go back a week.
So, in my defense,
I'll tell you, the Bears lost. You got to go back a week though.
Oh, like if in my defense, I don't get paid for this.
No, me neither. The Bears lost to the
49ers. Okay, so you faced a good defense.
Yep.
And you lost. You're gonna face another good defense.
A really good defense.
An experienced team. Yeah,
he may have just been trying to get my goat.
No,
I love Reader. Reader's a good guy.
Where is he? I just want to see this box score real quick because I know Justin Fields had like a couple. All right, so
175, one touchdown,
103 yards rushing. Cool, that's great. 175 passing with one interception.
That's what the thing with a rushing quarterback is. You get maybe a year or two out of him, and then they get killed. He needs to be careful. Any case, all right. Good show. Thank you.
Yeah.
Guys, check me out on Twitter. Check me out on Instagram. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you next week. Right?
We'll see you guys. Have a good night. Yep.